What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. This is my very first video in my series of X-Men videos over the next few days. We are starting out with my top 10 favorite X-Men heroes ranked. Now, first off, the reason I did top 10 is because there are just so many heroes in these movies. It would have taken me days to come up with the set list, and I did so many characters in my MCU Heroes Countdown, I figured it would be easier just to do my favorite 10. So I will be doing my top 10 heroes, my top 10 villains, and then maybe my top 10 worst characters in X-Men because there have been a lot of bad along with the good. But today we are focusing on the heroes. I'm not ranking them according to skill level or how powerful they are or how well the writers write them in the background. No, I am ranking them on which one impacts me the most. Now, I will be accounting all of those things. I like to look at who is pretty powerful, who is served well in the movies, who has an impact on me when I'm watching the specific films. And this was a hard list to crack, guys, so with every list comes some honorable mentions, and I will start off with mine. In my honorables, I have Shadowcat, Havoc, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Storm, Iceman, and the one that hurt me to leave off is Cyclops. I believe he's served pretty well in the movies, just not as well as he is in the comics. We've not seen that straight up amazing performance that we have yet, and I'm still kind of waiting on it. But those are my honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and get into number 10. And at number 10, I have Jean Grey. Now, I am accounting the performances from both actors and actresses that have played the character. So we've got Famke Janssen and Sophie Turner. Now, Jean Grey is a character that I really enjoy from the comics, and she has been served fairly well in the movies. Like I said about Cyclops, she really hasn't had her moment to shine. She got it slightly in X2, which I loved the end of that movie. Now, I also have to look at the bad, and I do not like X-Men 3 as much as I do the other films, and it just kind of ruined a little bit of the magic of the Dark Phoenix saga. Now, I know we're getting it again next year with Sophie Turner's character, so maybe that might bring her up my list, but that aspect of her character is something that I really wish would have worked the first time. I don't like Sophie Turner as much. She didn't blow me away in Apocalypse, but I'm waiting to see what she can do next. I'm kind of reserving judgment on that. At number 9, I have the Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer and Nicholas Hoult. Now, unlike Jean Grey, I really enjoy both performances from the characters that play the Beast. I think Nicholas Hoult has done a great job. We only got to see Kelsey Grammer as the Beast one time, which really kind of bummed me out because he was great. Not counting the cameo at the end of Days of Future Past. But Nicholas Hoult, really, he's always giving a good performance, but for some reason, the Beast, he comes across as both smart, and yet you can kind of feel the emotion within his character, especially in First Class. I really think the Beast is cool. He gets some great action scenes. I don't love his look in First Class, but they kind of course correct that in Days of Future Past, and I really appreciate what they've done with the character so far. It's a character I didn't love, but I really enjoy him now. Okay, so the Colossus in the first few X-Men movies didn't really do anything. He didn't blow me away. Why in the world did he stay behind in X2 and help the kids when he could have easily just taken out so many of those guards? That could have been a great action scene, not just with Wolverine, but with both of them tackling them. But you know what? I'll look past that and look at what Colossus is now in Deadpool because they've really nailed the character. We have seen him one time, and he's already at number 8 on my list because I just love, first of all, I love the Russian accent. I love his interactions with Deadpool. He is going to be so BA in Deadpool 2, I can feel it, and I can't wait to see what else they do with his character, and I love the fact that it's multiple people playing him. You have the person doing the motion capture, the person doing the voice. It's just so many things coming together to create one really cool X-Men. Next up, I have Rogue. Now, when I first made this list, I kind of left her off because I didn't really sit down and think, okay, what has Rogue contributed to this franchise? But really, the first two X-Men, she is a major, integral part to this series. Her relationship with Wolverine is absolutely awesome. You can see that father figure in him coming out, and she has some really sweet powers. You see it at the beginning of the first X-Men. What she can do, how it affects her, how it brings her down to earth and makes her character grounded, and that's what I love about Rogue. And I miss her character, and I love the Rogue cut of X-Men Days of Future Past. Next up is Nightcrawler. We have seen two different versions. Now, the version in Apocalypse was okay. I didn't really see out of him what I wanted to, but the version that we get in X2, my goodness, it is fantastic. Played perfectly by Alan Cumming. He nails the accent, and that fight scene at the beginning of X2 is still to this day one of my favorite comic book fight scenes of all time. It starts that movie off on an amazing note, but it really carries throughout the entire movie what he can do, how he's afflicted and affected on the inside by what he believes in, and then you see what he does at the end, guys. I really love Nightcrawler's character, and I hope in the next film we get to see a little bit more of this new incarnation. You know, we've not really seen a lot of Quicksilver. We've only seen a handful of scenes. Guys, give Evan Peters a chance to be in the entire movie because he is fantastic as Quicksilver. It's one of the things that I actually really prefer about the X-Men series over the MCU is their incarnation of Quicksilver. I think Evan Peters is an incredible actor. He's had two fantastic scenes, action scenes set to music. Although I do believe the second one wasn't as good as the first one, I still think they are awesome. So much fun to watch. I love his powers. He is so powerful. I guess there's a reason they didn't keep him around in Days of Future Past because he could have saved the entire day, but you know what? I still love him as a character, and I can't wait to see him again. It's incredible that a tiny little girl who barely said a word in Logan is this high up on my list, but she was just awesome. You could feel her emotion through her not saying a word, and that is really impressive when it comes to acting. This little girl needs more films. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of Fox, but whatever happens, I want to see an X-23 spinoff because this girl is fantastic. When she does start talking, she is amazing. Her relationship with Wolverine, you buy into it so much, just what she does with her eyes. And then, of course, I have to integrate what she does with her powers. She can fight, man. She can take people out, use those claws. She can heal everything Wolverine can do, but it's all because of how amazing this young actress was. That's why X-23 is so high up on my list. All right, number 3 and number 2 for me are neck and neck. You can probably guess what they are, and the only reason I put Professor X at number 3 is because he hasn't had his own movie to shine, and that's nothing against him. He's been a side character, supporting character, but to see him progress throughout all the films and played absolutely perfectly by James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart, both giving us different interpretations, but still interpretations that we have grown to love. I love this character. He is helpful, he is loving, he is powerful, he can fight when he needs to. He even does some hand-to-hand combat in that dream sequence in Apocalypse. Guys, I love everything about this character. I love what he stands for. You see him come to an end in Logan, and it is really one of the saddest deaths I've ever seen. You can feel Logan's emotion when what happens to him happens. That's not the first time he died. He died in X-Men 3, but as much as I didn't like what they did with that death, I still think the death scene was very emotional and impactful, and it got me because you really feel how much these other characters love their Professor X, and that comes across on screen. We love him as an audience. All right, number 2, who's it gonna be? Is it Wolverine or Deadpool? It's Deadpool. I can't put him at number 1 just because of my love for whatever my number 1 is. You guys know what it is. But Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, he is incredible. What is left to be said that hasn't already been preached? Nothing. I really don't need to say much. I think Ryan Reynolds is the embodiment of this character. And as bad as X-Men Origins Wolverine was, you still got a taste of what he could be at the beginning of that movie. And we see that in the first Deadpool. I am so excited for Deadpool 2. It's the whole reason why I'm doing this video. And even if the movie is horrible, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Ryan Reynolds is once again going to shine as this character. He is fantastic. He makes me laugh. You can feel his heart, and you just know that he loves this character, and I think that's the most important part. And number 1, you know it. I love the movie. I love every movie that he's been a supporting character in. I think Logan is genuinely one of my favorite characters in cinema history, and it's all because of Hugh Jackman. Now, you have the writing, you have what he did in the comic books, but if Hugh Jackman wouldn't have come across on screen that very first time in the first X-Men as perfect, then I know that he wouldn't have lived up to the expectations in other movies, and he really just brought everything to the character. Now, yeah, he's a little tall for Wolverine, but is that really what people were complaining about in 2000? Once they saw that performance, I'm sure those people were like, wow, you can be as tall as you want, Hugh Jackman. Guy's also genuinely ripped, and I don't blame him for not wanting to come back as his character because that would be miserable staying that fit all the time, but he does it because he loves the role, he loves the character. He brought everything he could in Logan, and even the Wolverine movies that aren't as good as they should be, he still brings it. A movie that I do not like at all in X-Men Origins Wolverine. He brings everything, and he's the only reason that I will rewatch the movie when it's on TV because he's just so dang good. I love Hugh Jackman as an actor. I love Logan/Wolverine as a character, and that is why he is #1 on my very, very difficult list to make, guys. Thank you so much for watching this, and genuinely, I mean, this is a list that's going to be so different for everyone. I want to see your lists, and I want to hear your thoughts, so please comment down below. Who is your favorite character? Everyone is going to have different lists, so please don't get offended if I left somebody off that you love. Just tell me why you love them, and tell me why you think this specific person, whoever it is your #1 favorite X-Men character. I think that's the joy of a movie like this, is we can start talking about the X-Men again and rank the movies and the characters, things that I will continue to do throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching this video, liking it, giving me a thumbs up. I know if you give me that thumbs up, then you guys want more, and I will continue to do that. You are the absolute best. Deadpool 2 on Thursday night, and I will catch you later.